Hi, I'm John Biggs with TechCrunch TV. We're here with Brent Ward of LYF Shoes. You're business lead for these things, and why are these shoes special? I'm holding a shoe in my hand. Tell me exactly what's going on here.
Sure, so what's in that shoe is really a 100% sustainable design that can be fully assembled and disassembled right in front of the customer. So what it allows for is 100% customization to your preferences.
So you describe this as sort of like a Shinto shrine, this stuff, the pieces all just sort of pop out, is that right? It's like a transformer shoe?
Exactly, so essentially what you can do is the shoe goes together. Now we're obviously disassembling, so it goes together in the opposite order, but essentially then there's these pieces that allow you to put the shoe together here. This then pulls apart on the back side, so you can actually pull this up. And then inside you can see that there's an insole that's in here, and then there's a plate in here, a locking plate, that actually holds those other pieces inside together. So with about 7 components, which are all recyclable, you can essentially put together and take apart a shoe.
So the traditional method for shoemaking, you said before, was that it's a lot of glue. So essentially the glue is cured, and all these pieces are stuck together permanently, and it's kind of a mess, really.
Right, so 300 million pair of shoes go into the landfill every year. It's a staggering number. It's about the population of America, right? And so with this, essentially no shoes have to go in the landfill.
So if I went into the store, I could get a new sole, or I could get a new side rail, or I could even get new materials here.
Right, so let's say you have your favorite pair of shoes. I know as guys, we have a pair of shoes we never want to let go. Essentially, if you wore out your sole, instead of having to go to the cobbler and them use those glues, they could essentially disassemble it right there on the spot with you sitting in front of them, put a new sole, and let's say you didn't like black anymore and we had gray, you could have a gray sole put on. Or if there's pink or red or yellow, then essentially you could swap out that component just for what you need.
But at some point you're going to swap out every component. It's going to be, but is it the same shoe? That's the endless question.
Arguably, you could have, we call it LYF Shoes, but really you could have a shoe for life.
And what is this? You mentioned something that this is going to be a sort of electronics component?
We're both holding these things we call heel locks, but what you're holding there is a prototype of an idea where these are 9 sensors that can capture data as you walk. So it can capture the Z-axis, the X and the Y, and actually could give you diagnostic feedback to tell you how you're walking, whether supinating, pronating, and could give you and or maybe a practitioner some information to make your shoes better.
And how are you guys selling these things?
So initially what we're doing is we're going to be having it on a crowdfunding a platform so that we can get the money together to get essentially the molds made so we can start supplying shoes for people to start wearing.
So the ultimate goal is that you'd be able to print your own shoes. So you could essentially say you could print this up here, you could get the piece from you guys.
Right.
And if I'm like a cobbler in a developing country, I can make some of these parts and buy some of the parts from you.
What we think is the future of shoemaking, which is really digital printing. Conceptually, you could print every component. We think there are certain components you'd print more than others, but initially you could digitally print on a textile. So this is actually a denim that we pulled out of a waste bin from a local supplier, Raleigh-Durham, but we're also working with a company called Spoonflower to print unique designs that could be highly customized. So you really could have a shoe that was one of a kind in the world.
All right, beautiful. And where can people find out more?
They can look at lyfshoes.com, lyfshoes.com, and they can look on they essentially look at LYF Shoes and crowdfunding.
All right, perfect. All right, I'm John Biggs with TechCrunch TV. Thanks for watching.